I'd like to call the work session to order. This is our Newberry County Council work session for April 15th, tax day. I'd like to welcome everybody. 2 notes. Our chairman, Nick, is out of town on business, and Todd Johnson, we're trying to get zoomed in or connected in, so we may or may not. He's in, so that's good. So our first item is discussion of the purchase of the 800 millihertz radios with the remaining 2025-2026 lease purchase funds.
Okay. So the lease purchase for $2.1 million that bought the fire truck, 2 ambulances, we had $60,000 after we had spent it on the new equipment and vehicles. We had about $60,000 remaining. So we talked with our bond counsel, Theo DeBose, and basically we wanted to try and utilize that money towards some other needs that we may have. So in order to do that, I think it was $60,355. In order to do that, what we have to do is pass a resolution because we're adding new equipment to that lease purchase that wasn't designated in the original ordinance. We would need to pass a resolution. So I went back through the budget, specifically emergency services, to see the proposed next fiscal year budget, to see what had been cut out of it that had been requested, and could we fit something that was requested and had been cut out of the budget into this. Well, I did notice that Tommy had requested some new 800 megahertz radios that were not funded. So I got with Tommy, and Tommy got with Motorola. We received a quote for 12 new 800 megahertz radios, and it came out to just a little over $59,000. And it would be our recommendation to pass the resolution tonight to purchase those 12 800 radios.
All right.
That's all I have. Anything to add?
Are we still paying a yearly fee
Mm-hmm.
for those megahertz?
Yeah, and
But we got a contract for so many years before we do our contract, which I think is 2027. Each radio requires you to pay a fee on it. We still in that contract.
that's it.
All right. Item number 3 is discussion of the proposed 2026-27 Newberry County budget.
All right.
Teddy?
So, following the budget work session, some questions were raised regarding the increase in physical fees, which were pretty significant. And at that time, we were noting a $125,000 increase. For clarification, it was really a total increase of about $160,000 towards physicals in this upcoming budget. When you take the fire control budget and the Board of Rescue Squad's budget and combine those, it was actually about $160,000 increase. And so got with Tommy, and we had a discussion. Right now, OSHA does not mandate that physicals have to be done at this point, but it is being anticipated that here down the road, OSHA is going to mandate that physicals be performed. So with that said, Tommy also went to Newberry Health, who is providing the physicals. There was a fairly significant increase per physical from 200 or 250 to 500 per physical, but they were the only respondent when we put out for this service to respond. So had Tommy work with them to kind of look at, that was a full gamut for $500 physical to include most everything. Is there another tier of physical that can be done that's maybe not as extensive? Interior firefighters who need the full gamut get the $500. There's a secondary tier that maybe has a little bit less in the physical but still provides a quality physical. And so we kind of took the combination of all that, and understanding that it's not a requirement now, we felt like we still wanted to work towards increasing that budgeted amount up so we can be prepared when OSHA comes with the rate mandate, that we're inching that up. But so we took $100,000 of that $160,000 and brought it back for other budgetary uses, but still upped that amount by $60,000 this year. And next year, we'll look it up in it a little more and do that until we've reached what we think will be the total costs to be prepared for the mandate when it comes. So with that said, kind of a breakdown on how we utilize the changes we made with that 100,000. It was brought up about $1 hour per raise for the collection attendants. We got with, Debbie got with the Council on Aging, and that would be about $30,000 to do that. So we took 30 of the 100 and applied it towards that. We also took $27,067, which would be to increase a part-time position within that department to full-time. And then $42,933 would be allocated in the capital for fire control. This year, fire control have requested $390,000 towards air pack replacements. What was in the proposed budget presented to you guys was $260,000 funded of their $390,000 request. And so we upped that by $42,933 to round it off to $100,000, and that would give them some additional air pack purchases in the capital line item. So from a budget standpoint, everything else is the same except those changes that were just mentioned.
And the bottom line on the budget did not change,
Did not
correct?
change, correct.
Any other questions?
So we have to do a addendum on that?
We have, tonight, we're slated for first reading at the 6 o'clock meeting on the budget. All right.
All right, our next item on the agenda is the executive session, A and B. So we got a receive legal advice and discussion related to medications of electronic development projects at the Mid-Carolina Park, Rick Farmer, Economic Development Director, and also discussions of matter related to Project Altair pursuant to South Carolina Code of Laws, Section 30-4-70 Alpha 5, Rick Farmer, Economic Development. Do I have a motion that we go into executive session? Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? Todd, you on?
Yes.
In favor. We'll be in executive session in 5 minutes. This was back from executive session. No action was taken. Do I have a motion that we come out of executive session? Motion by Councilman Reader, second by Councilman Fulmer. Any discussion?
I will shut it down.
All in favor? It is unanimous. Mr. Johnson was on board with us earlier. He did have to get off to catch his flight, so he is not on anymore with us. Do we have a motion for adjournment from an executive session?
Yes. Motion to.
Councilman Reader, second by Councilman Smith. Any discussion? All in favor? Work session's adjourned. call the Newberry County Council April 15th meeting to order. Before that, we have one housekeeping thing. Make sure you have your phones either turned off or placed on silence, please. And I'd like to call on Stuart Smith for our invocation and pledge.
Thank you. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day you bestowed upon us, O Lord. Thank you for your great wisdom, Lord. We pray for peace, world peace. Pray for our military, our first responders as they protect us day in and day out. Oh Lord, we come to you and ask for guidance on our decision making. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first order will be moving item 4 up to 3 because we need to approve the agenda before we start adopting the minutes. That got moved out of order. So we have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Fulmer, second by Councilman Sturry. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. All right, next, we'd like to adopt the minutes with consent agenda. We're going to take all items A through F as one. We've all had those sent out and read. Any changes? Did we make a motion to take the consent agenda as all one?
Yes.
By Councilman Reeder and second by Councilman Smith. All in favor? All right, next we need to make a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as so read? As stated. Motion by Councilman Fulmer and second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? Approved, unanimous. All right. Moving on to item number 5, which is one of our most highlighted items, is for recognition and special recognition of Polmary Fire Station number 4 and Polmary Rescue Squad Station 13. Tommy?
Thank you, Mr. C. So tonight we'll recognize the Polmary Fire and Rescue, and I've asked Chief Richardson to give us a little synopsis of the two departments. He's actually the chief of both departments. And he don't have nothing else to do because he's retired, but it keeps him very, very busy. So, Chief, if you would.
Thank you. Well, first off, I would like to express our appreciation for being recognized because it makes us feel like we are providing a service that the council feels like is useful and meaningful to the county. Very quickly, I don't want to take a lot of your time, but Polmary Fire Department was organized as one of 10 stations in 1960 to form the county's initial volunteer fire service. Members attended first fire class in 1961, and the station received its first fire engine in 1962. Our department currently has 22 members, 14 interior firefighters with 3 certified at the firefighter 1 level and 5 certified to firefighter 2. All members have some degree of National Incident Management training, and many have advanced level NIMS classes. 18 members have hazmat training with 4 at the technician level. Many members also have training in emergency vehicle driving, pump operations and mobile water supply, traffic incident management, Narcan administration for opioid overdoses, and wildland firefighting. 7 of our members are actually second or third generation volunteer firefighters in Newberry County. Currently operating out of 3 stations, our main station in Polmary, we have 2 engines, 1 tanker, and 1 brush truck. At substations in Peak and Lightsey Road, we have 1 engine at each location. Last year, we responded to 176 calls. In addition to serving Newberry County, we provide mutual aid responses to Richland and Fairfield counties and are a part of the State Firefighter Mobilization Program. The Rescue Squad was chartered in 1987 to address a need for services in the Pomeria community. The Pomeria Rescue Squad began providing basic rescue services in 1988 and then began providing a basic ambulance service in 1989. The squad has operated an advanced life support ambulance since 1991 after obtaining the first 12-lead EKG monitor in Newberry County through a federal grant. Our squad currently has 34 members, which include 6 paramedics, 1 advanced EMT, and 5 basic EMTs. In addition to medical responses, we have equipment and training to respond to various technical rescue disciplines, including vehicle extrication, rope rescue, confined space rescue, wilderness search and rescue, collapse rescue, and trench rescue. Rescue members' trainings also include emergency vehicle driving, traffic incident management, Narcan administration for opioids, and national incident management training. Out of our main station in Pomeria, we operate 1 ALS ambulance, 1 medium-duty rescue, 1 18-foot boat, 1 technical rescue trailer, 1 off-highway vehicle with an enclosed trailer, and 1 12-foot John boat. We also have a light-duty rescue truck stationed at Consolidated Fire Department. Our squad responded to over 400 calls in 2025. In addition to responding ambulance and rescue resources throughout the county when needed, our squad has transported numerous Newberry County citizens to doctors or hospitals in Charleston and Atlanta, and we have also assisted with medical standby events around Newberry County and in Saluda County. I hope that gives you a little idea of how we try to stay busy, but if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Not, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so if I could get all our members to come up front with Pomeria Fire and Rescue, I'd like to get a picture with everybody. Carl.
This would have been good for you not to see.
Thank you. Thank you, appreciate it.
Y'all can sneak out if you want.
Our next item on the agenda is the administrator's report. Mr. Luckadoo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tonight it's an honor to recognize one employee for years of service, and we've got 3 retirees that we're going to recognize tonight for their service to Newberry County and to send them off so they can celebrate their retirement. So to start, we want to begin tonight by recognizing, I have the wrong folder. Sorry. Ms. Bremer, if you would come up, please. First off, thank you for joining us this evening. It's a pleasure tonight to recognize Ms. Bremer for 35 years of service to Newberry County. So thank you for that. Beverly started with the Clerk of Court's office April 15, 1991 as a clerk typist, and she worked in real estate for 2 years. She was then promoted to Clerk Typist 2 and moved to Common Pleas Court for 6 years. After the retirement of Joyce Hayes, she worked in family court in the child support division as an accounting clerk and was later promoted to accounting clerk 2 until January 3rd, 2017, at which time she was sworn in as deputy clerk. With this role, she mostly works with General Sessions Court, which has grown over the years with the many new court mandates. She also helps in other departments when needed. She is very conscientious of her work and a great asset to the clerk's office. So please help me by giving a round of applause for 35 years of service.
Congratulations, Beverly.
Now I'm going to ask our Director of Public Works, Mr. Josh Rowe, to come up and recognize him. And then when that's over, I would ask Sheriff Luke Foster to come up and recognize.
So it's always a great day to get to recognize our employees, and tonight we're recognizing Mr. Chris Alexander on his retirement. Chris, if you want to go ahead and come up, you can go ahead and come up now. Chris has been with Public Works 28 years. After briefly starting out a little bit in the solid waste department, he quickly moved into doing what he was very good at, which was running a motor grader. I've been with the county now 2 years, and I can tell you, he was one of our certainly senior operators and did a great job in that format, and we certainly commend him on that. But in addition to his 28 years with Public Works, he also had several years of volunteer service with both the fire department and rescue. I think all that was in town of Whitmire, correct? Town of Whitmire. So Chris has definitely been very supportive to not only his hometown community, but the county as a whole. And we certainly appreciate him for that. He's been involved in several special projects, we'd say, over the years and things like that. So, Chris is definitely very dedicated, to what he did. And like I said, we certainly appreciate him for that. So on behalf of the county and Public Works, we certainly commend you for 28 years of service. Hope you enjoy your retirement.
Good evening, Daniel Floyd, please come forward. Daniel's kind of a rare being, like Bigfoot. He doesn't have big feet, but he's a rare thing. Because most of the time, we hire them, we train them, and they go away before they can retire to work in the state government or some other thing. So Daniel has stayed with us his entire career. The other thing that makes him rare is he's, I guess, the only person that we have had that has worked in all 3 divisions of the sheriff's office. Very rare to have somebody work in communications, law enforcement, and corrections. So Daniel is a rare being. He's also a unique being. He started in our communications department as a telecommunicator, worked in there, decided he wanted to be a deputy on the road. So we hired him on the road, and he did a great job there. He then went into the court division, where he worked civil process and provided court security. After a few years of that, he came back to the road and worked his way up through the rank process and became a lieutenant. Mostly was running our night shift, so he was out there. He was the sheriff at night, and did a marvelous job with that. Unfortunately, Daniel was diagnosed with MS, and he wanted to continue to work. He probably could have retired then on medical. But he wanted to continue to work,
continued to work until it got to a point to where he felt like he needed a change from being out there like on OP Live, chasing everybody all over the town. So we had an opening in the detention center as the main supervisor, the captain. Although he really didn't know anything about running the detention center, he was willing to take on that job and learn it. And he did a great job. And the other thing that made him really good in the detention center, he saved a lot of money for the county because he tinkers and fixes things. So toilets, light fixtures, fryers, things like that, Daniel had a way of fixing that. So after 27 years, Daniel has decided to retire and move into the private sector. He's worked hard and diligent for us, and we're proud of the fact that he served with us and is retiring from the county of Newberry. We're not so proud about his shirt. That needs to get over.
Drop it back down on wood.
And if anybody questions that, Dawn Staley's on my speed dial. She will.
All right, and the final one we have tonight, unfortunately, he could not be here, and he sends his regrets, but he is doing what most retired people should do. He is out of town on vacation, taking in the retired life, and that's Mr. Jeff Shacker. So it's my pleasure tonight to recognize Jeff for his 28 years of service in local government. I did write down basically his resume on this piece of paper to paint a picture of all that Jeff did through his career. He began his career in 1997 following his graduation from the University of South Carolina, Go Gamecocks, as a graduate assistant with USC. Along the way, he served as a regional planner, GIS manager for the Upper Savannah Council of Governments for almost 3 years. Jeff originally landed in Newberry at the city of Newberry in June of 2001 and spent close to 12 years with the city holding multiple positions. One is Economic Development Coordinator, Assistant to the City Manager, Assistant City Manager, and lastly, City Manager. In 2013, Jeff took on the role of Field Service Manager for the Municipal Association of South Carolina, where he provided cities and towns with technical assistance for 10 years. This is where I first got the opportunity to meet Jeff. Jeff was instrumental early in my career as a manager and provided me with technical assistance. When I got the position of town manager in Batesboro, Liswell, I had no clue what I was doing. Absolutely none. And so in his position with the Municipal Association, he was able to come in and teach me a lot and mentor me early in my career. Lastly, Mr. Shacker landed back here in the Newberry area as the county administrator in 2023 and now has retired after a successful career in local government. I will tell you, Jeff is probably the most knowledgeable and smartest person in local government I've ever met. And I know most every city manager in this state, and I know many of the county administrators, and his ability to lead an organization, know the laws, know strategies, and project management is second to none among the people that I've met in this career field. So it's my honor tonight to recognize Mr. Jeff Shacker for his service in local government for over 28 years, and more specifically for his service here in Newberry County, both with the city and the county. And I got a couple more updates here. I got a couple more updates under the administrator report.
Okay.
All right. As everyone may have noticed on the way in, there's a lot of fine art plastered along the halls coming up to the council chambers. This artwork was done by students from Boundary Elementary School. Our Public Works and Recycling Department recently participated in the Equipment and Career Day on March 27th. Our staff was able to talk with the students about the jobs that they do, and they were able to pass out the coloring pictures and were asked to display the artwork by the school. So we felt that we would post those for tonight's council meeting. We may leave them up for a week or two for anyone that may come in or any other meetings that we have, but certainly wanted to display the artwork that was done. We are happy to report that Mawson's Way project is now substantially complete, and the final inspection is set to occur, is it next week, Rick? I think it's around next week. Tomorrow. So we will get the final inspection on that project, and then that project will be closed out. We held a pre-bid meeting last week for the public safety project, the public safety complex project. We had over 20 potential bidders show up to that pre-bid meeting. Bids are due on May 13th at 3 o'clock. We will be bringing to council either the last meeting in May or first meeting of June our recommendation for award on that project. And I will tell you that's an encouraging sign to have that many people show up to a pre-bid meeting. That means that people are looking for more work, and when that's the case, that means they sharpen their pencil a little bit more. So we're hoping with the big attendance, it's going to force them to sharpen that pencil and maybe help us on the cost with that project. Little Mountain Reunion Park and the Whitmire Gym are projected to be completed this month. The Pomeria Community Center is now complete, and the museum roof project is well underway. They are currently installing the new tiles on the museum. So that's what I have.
Thank you, Ted. All right, next up is Chairman's comments. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out tonight, participating in our county government. We'd also like to thank our volunteers, Pomeria Rescue Squad and Fire Service that were here tonight. Our county couldn't do what we do and serve our community without all our great volunteers. And also for all our employees, recognition for retirement, moving on to another stage of their life. And appreciate the updates, Ted, that you gave us. And that's all I have. Our next item is going into public hearings. We'll have a motion that we open up the public hearings. Councilman Reeder, and second by Councilman Smith. Any discussion? And this is a little bit different format. We're going to open up the public hearings and we're going to go through all of them, but we'll state which one we're doing. We'll open one, speak for 3 minutes, close it after everybody finishes speaking, and then go on to the next one till we cover all the public hearings. All in favor of going into a public hearing? Second one. All. It's unanimous. I now declare the public hearing open for ordinance 01/2026. That's a text amendment to the zoning ordinance section 153.033, 153.168, 153.170, and 153.231, allowing fences and walls within the setback area. We have Mr. Ginn signed up to speak. If you approach and state your name and address, and after that, you sign in, we'll start your time.
My name is Gary Ginn. My house is at 1203 Newberry Shores Drive, Prosperity, South Carolina, 29127. And I'd like to start off with thanking you for letting me speak. The other thing is I brought a piece of paper here that I hope that you were given that states that I have a mediation agreement with your zoning board and your county attorney, which they have basically breached my
Mr. Chairman.
contract with them,
Mr. Chairman,
according to what they've said, excuse me.
if I can interrupt, we've got two issues with this mediation sheet. First of all, mediation in South Carolina is confidential. Everyone at this mediation agreed to the confidentiality of the proceedings. And secondly, the document itself, on the last page, number 5, says that the parties understand that the mediation is not concluded, but rather recessed. Justice Placonis recessed this mediation. He did not conclude it. This is also a matter that's under litigation, that Mr. Ginn is well aware of, 3 separate matters that are not in, they're in litigation right now, but they have not been adjudicated. And so I feel that the conversation that's being held right now is inappropriate, slightly unethical.
Thank you, Counselor. You can continue on, and talk about the issues you have with
The issues that I have are in the piece of paper here that was sent out on the agenda today. The piece of paper I have, the mediation, discusses all of these that you have on, that you're getting ready to change the ordinance on. Every one of them. In fact, this ordinance change did not even come to your desk until after the February 3rd ordinance zoning board meeting. So therefore, I don't see how I can speak to y'all on this except for include the mediation that your attorney will not even call my attorney. She asked for
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Ginn is to discuss what he signed up to discuss. He's not going to stand there and demean employees, including myself, of the county. That is not appropriate.
Yeah, Mr. Gwynn, you can't discuss the county employees involved in this, only the things that happened on your property while you're against it, and
Okay?
but you cannot mention the different
All right,
employees involved.
so here's the thing. The zoning change that you're initiating discusses the setback from the 50 feet from the 360 contour, which a fence was put down the property line, and the fence that was put down the property line violated the now ordinance, in which this county council is getting ready, looks like, could or could not change, but this ordinance change was initiated after the fact that I protested it at the zoning board. The zoning board would not even take it up, which the law says that the fence had to be 50 feet from the 360 contour marker of Lake Murray. It is, a fence is a structure in every state in the union. A fence is a structure in every county surrounding Lake Murray. In the building codes, a fence is a structure. Says it in your building code, in your thing. You're getting ready to take fences out of the structure. And it's my belief, with all my heart, it's my belief that this ordinance is changing because I protested it. So you can do whatever you think it is, but I'm telling you that if this is the way it's going to be, then I got to hold the county council responsible for changing it.
All right. We thank you for coming out. Your 3 minutes is up. Thank you, sir. We have a motion there's no one else signed up for this public hearing. Do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Yes.
Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? That public hearing is closed. Our next public hearing, I have before we open it up for the public hearing, I have a statement to read on the next one. This time, we will conduct a public hearing on Project Altair for public information, so we can be transparent. If passed tonight, the ordinance would allow Newberry County to option the remaining acres in Mid-Carolina Commerce Part 2 to a developer who has the intentions of leasing the facility to a data center tenant. If the plans of the developer are successful, the project would buy the remaining acres and construct several buildings, which would constitute a small to medium data center. Santee Cooper is currently performing a study to make sure the electrical grid in that area can support a facility. Please understand that Newberry County Council is merely exploring this opportunity, and if the ordinance passes, it does not necessarily mean that the data center would be construction. What we are doing today is creating the ground conditions for a due diligence process to occur. If these plans do not come to for issue on the land, will revert back to Newberry County for future industrial development. The public hearing on ordinance 03102026, allowing Newberry County to enter into an option of purchase agreement with Project Altair for economic development purposes, ordinance 03-02-26. Oh, excuse me, for economic, that was one, it kind of ran together.
3/1/26.
Right. Do we have a motion to go into
Public hearing.
public hearing? Motion by Councilman Fulmer, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? Anybody signed up for that? All right. Anybody that did not sign up, that wishes to sign up, may sign up at this point, since we made additional information available to you. Hearing none, is there a motion that we close the public hearing on ordinance 03012026? Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? The public hearing is closed on 03012026. Our next public hearing is on ordinance 030226. This would be a text amendment to section 153.073 to the zoning ordinance, chapter 153, which would allow for outdoor retail sales. We have a motion to open this public hearing. Councilman Reeder has a motion, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous. I now declare the public hearing open on ordinance 03022026. No one has signed up. If anyone's here that would like to speak on it that hadn't signed up, please come forward and do so. If not, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing on 03022026. We have a motion to close it. Motion by Councilman Scurry, second by Councilman Smith. Any discussion? All in favor? I now declare the public hearing closed on 03022026. Our next ordinance is 03032026. This will be a text amendment to section 151.04 to the zoning ordinance, chapter 153, establishing a penalty to building permit fees. Is there a motion we open up the public hearing for ordinance 03032026? Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? I now declare the public hearing on 030326 open. Do we have anyone signed up for the public hearing on 030326? Hearing none, is there a motion that we close the hearing on 03032026? Motion by Councilman Fulmer, second by Councilman Smith. Any discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous. Moving on to our next ordinance. Ordinance 03042026. This would be a rezoning of property located at Folk Road and Calvary Church Road in Newberry, consisting of 8.34 acres from limited commercial back to rural R2. It has tax map 335-24. We have a motion to open the public hearing on 03042026. Motion by Councilman Fulmer, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All, they changed mine. All in favor? Persons signed up have decided not to speak in the public hearing. Do we have a motion to close the public hearing on 0304-2026? Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? Passes unanimously. Our last ordinance for public hearing, 0305-20-26, will be a rezoning property located at the corner of Limlerfield Road and US Highway 76, Little Mountain, consisting of 3.04 acres from RS Single Family Residence to R2 Rural. And this would be tax map 640-83. We have a motion to open on ordinance 0305-2026. Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Smith. Any discussion? All in favor? I declare the public hearing on 0305-2026 open. Anyone sign up? Do I have a motion we close the public hearing on 0305-20-26? Motion by Councilman Smith, second by Councilman Reeder. Any discussion? All in favor? Passes unanimously. Whew. Next item on the agenda, public comments regarding items on the agenda, 3 minutes. We have anybody signed up? We have Gary Ginn signed up to speak. Give us your name and address again.
My name is Gary Yin, and my address is 1203 Newberry Shores Drive, Prosperity, South Carolina, 29127.
Thank you, sir.
So, may I start out by saying that this mediation agreement has been filed in state court, so therefore it is public knowledge. It is also FOIable, which is also public knowledge. So because it was given to the zoning board and is lit on their website for their agenda and minutes. So therefore, I would like to speak on it.
Mr. Chairman, I renew my objections.
Once again, since it's been paused and hadn't been concluded, you need to
So my next statement is, you're persecuting my civil rights to speak as a speaker. I'm pulling my civil rights, my First Amendment rights.
Mr. Chairman, in the interest of moving this meeting along, I would just ask that my objections be noted and let Mr. Ginn speak for 3 minutes, but I would object.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your objections are noted and in the record. Okay, Mr. Gwynn, you can
Can we
continue
put
to
3
speak.
minutes back on my clock? Seeing as she's interrupted me?
3 minutes.
Yeah, he's
Sure.
put 3 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. So, on this rezoning and or new ordinance. I protest that you basically are putting this ordinance about when I basically have a ongoing discussion on why the BZA and persons in the BZA, Board of Zoning Affairs, or Board of Zoning Appeals would not hear and would not recognize this. Because it is an ordinance, if you look at your ordinance, it says that you cannot build a structure, principal or otherwise, within 50 feet of the 360 contour. And this zoning ordinance was put to you by the zoning administrator and the zoning board to basically try to forfeit this mediation agreement that I have that it looks like, yes, I'm going to have to go to court over it. And if you change the zoning, then it's going to look like that you change these ordinances to counteract my motions. It's not going to look good for you. So that's all. I mean, this zoning ordinance was signed by 2 of your employees. And the ex-Chief Justice Placonis and 2 attorneys, if you look at it. So therefore, they had to agree with the stipulations. I pulled my stipulation is that I paid $75 for a building permit, that I had already had a building permit, but I was trying to play nice. But the other 2 ordinances was about an ordinance about which side of the fence was supposed to be on the outside of the exterior and which side was supposed to be the inside. And the other one, the big one, is this fence impedes my vision. For 45 years, I've had 180-degree vision out of my front windows in my house. Now, I have less than that. I have about 120 degrees. And then if this ordinance passes, somebody puts the other fence, I don't think y'all would like being blinded after 45 years. I don't think you want somebody to put a fence down your property, blinding you from seeing the lake at 180 degrees. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to our next item, old business. The first one would be our third reading of ordinance 0101-2026. This is a text amendment to the zoning ordinance sections 153.033, 153.168, 153.170, and 153.231, allowing fences and walls within the setback area. Do we have a motion for this?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Fulmer, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion?
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
All in favor? Passes unanimously. Next item up is second reading of ordinance 0302-2026. This would be a text amendment for section 153.073, zoning ordinance chapter 153, which would allow for outdoor retail sales. We have a motion to open this. Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? Passes unanimously. Next item is second reading of ordinance 030326, which is a text amendment of section 151.04 to the zoning ordinance, chapter 153, establishing a penalty for building permits. We have a motion to open this, or motion for this. Motion by Councilman Smith, second by Councilman Fulmer. Any discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous. Next one is second reading of our ordinance 03042026, which will rezone property located at Folk Road and Calvary Church Road, Newberry, consisting of 8.34 acres from LC Limited Commercial to R2 Rural. Tax map 335-24. Do I have a motion this be second reading? Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous. The next item would be second reading of ordinance 03052026. Rezoning property located at the corner of Linderfield Road and US Highway 76 Little Mountain, consisting of 3.04 acres from RS Single Family Residential to RS Rural. And that's tax map 640-83. We have a motion this be second reading. Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Smith. Any discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous. Our next item up is new business. First is a proclamation recognizing the Soil and Water Stewardship Week in Newberry County. I'd like to read this first before you come, or you can come up and I'll read it. This proclamation for the Soil, Water, and Stewardship Week, County of Newberry, South Carolina, State of South Carolina. Whereas healthy, fertile soil and clean water are the livelihood of nutrition and substance throughout the world, and soil conservation is a benefit to everyone. And whereas effective conservation practices ensure soil, water, animals, plants, and air can provide a rich standard of living, and whereas our survival and continued production and access to quality food and water depends upon the robust management of our diverse natural resources nationwide. And whereas stewardship calls on every individual to help conserve these precious resources to ensure their prosperity for generations to come. Now, therefore, Newberry County Council of Newberry, South Carolina, does hereby proclaim the week of April 26th through May 3rd, 2026 as Soil and Water Stewardship Week, proclaimed and approved this day, 15th of April, 2026, Newberry County Council. I'd like to present this to you. Do you have any words you'd like to say?
Well, I just wanted to say, soil is where it all starts.
That's right.
Without soil, we wouldn't exist.
Present this proclamation to you. Thank you. Our next item up will be the first reading of ordinance 04012026, providing appropriations for the fiscal year of 26 and 27 budget. Mr. Luckadoo, do you have any comments on that?
No, I'm just thankful for the two budget work sessions that we were able to get through. I know it was a lot of information. There were some changes that we went through. It's not the bottom line appropriations number for the year, but there were 4 changes that we shifted some funds around based on our discussions in the budget work session. But I believe we've got it in a form ready for first reading.
And our bottom line did not change.
It didn't.
All right. We have a motion for first reading of ordinance 0401-2026. Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? All in favor? It is unanimous. Item Charlie under 11, a resolution 02-2026 will be the approval of the purchase of 800 megahertz radios and equipment with the remaining funds from the 2025-2026 lease purchase. Would you want to add some comments to that?
I can add a quick comment to that. Following the purchase of the fire truck and 2 ambulances on the $2.1 million lease purchase, after the purchase, we had about $60,355 that was left over that we had saved. We got with our bond counsel and asked if we could utilize those remaining funds for some other needs that we had. So I went back through the fiscal year 26-27 proposed budget to look for items that previously were not included in the budget that we could cover a need that was not funded in the proposed budget. We were able to find that emergency services have requested some 800 megahertz radios that were not funded in the proposed budget, and we are able to tackle those radios with these remaining funds. So that'll be for the purchase of 12 800 megahertz radios plus the accessories needed for those.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion to accept Resolution 02-2026. Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Scurry. Any discussion? I'd just like to say thanks, Mr. Luckadoo, for looking into that, taking that extra money to find out we could do a resolution to do this, to be able to provide those 800 megahertz radios to our rescue squads.
I'm gonna throw it to the staff that did the legwork to figure out how to get the quotes and do everything. It was just a matter of getting this resolution brought to you guys to finalize it, so.
All in favor? It is unanimous. All right, next was possible actions taking place in an executive session. We didn't take any actions in executive session.
And I don't believe there's any actions in follow-up to executive session.
Next is item 13 would be appointments. We have two appointments, Building and Fire and Nuisance Board from District 2 and Board of Zoning Appeals, District 6. Do we have any names? Would you like to make your appointment?
Yes, absolutely. For the Building and Fire Nuisance Board, District 2, I'd like to appoint Mr. Andrew Moore from District 2 to that board, please.
We have a motion to accept that appointment.
Yes.
Motion by Councilman Reeder, second by Councilman Smith. Any discussion? All in favor? It passes. Has been appointed. And you have his information for Stuart?
Yes.
I mean, for Andrew?
Yes.
Next would be the Board of Zoning Appeals, District 6.
You need the name?
That would be Nick. Todd Johnson.
Chessie Hard. Chessie Hard.
Chessie Hard? Okay. He would like to nominate Chessie Hart for Building and Zoning Appeals, District 6. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Fulmer. We have a second. Second by Councilman Smith. Any discussion?
Mr. C. One quick, it's Chancey Hardwick.
Harwood.
Perfect. I'm saying it like it.
Yeah. Chauncey Hardwick.
Any discussion? All in favor? They have been appointed. Our next item on the agenda is adjournment. We have a motion. Motion by Councilman Reeder, is second by Councilman Scurry.
Future meetings.
Meeting is adjourned.
Future